Hello, hi, welcome. I hope this email finds you well. We talk a lot of biology here, and that's good. But it's nice to take a moment and just appreciate nature as it is. Because when you don't dissect it, it gives you perspective. Really, we're just apes. We're just a bunch of apes on a beautiful rock floating through space. But somehow we have complicated our lives so much. Most days we wake up and get ready for school or work or both. And we push to be better than we were yesterday. To be smarter, to be richer, to accomplish some big thing that people will remember us for. And I've been on that train for a while now, and I've started to realize that I've been so focused on looking straight ahead at my big milestones, my destination, that I've forgotten that this train has windows and I've so very rarely looked outside. Today, I want to appreciate the small. It's time for a little story. Once upon a time, I used to live in an apartment. And at the time of this story, I had just finished grad school and I just could not land a job in biology for the life of me. And this was the very first time my life had just come to a halt, regardless the effort I had put in. It was like the train had stopped and the conductor had asked me to step off in the middle of nowhere, not even close to my intended destination. It was a hard time because I was feeling that maybe I had no future in biology, so I had slowly distanced myself from it. Fortunately, my apartment had a balcony, and I loved that balcony. It wasn't the prettiest balcony, but the view from it at sunrise and sunset would take my breath away every time. But that's not even my favorite thing about it. See, at this building lived a huge flock of pigeons, and they went from balcony to balcony looking for food because some residents fed these pigeons. And two pigeons, one big and light gray and the other one smaller and a bit darker, used to always stop at our balcony. They would coo and look into the apartment and see if we would feed them. So of course we did. And we named them Gerald and Isabel for no particular reason. And Gerald was such a pompous pigeon. He'd get into fights all the time over Isabel, over food, over the whole balcony, while Isabel didn't really care too much for it. She would wait patiently for Gerald to eat as much seed as he wanted and fight as much as he wanted. And when he was done and he leapt up on the railing, she would come down and have her turn to feed. Whenever possible, I would watch them, just doing pigeon things on the balcony. It was so calming. They had no school or work, no family halfway across the world to miss. For them, this was the entirety of their world. One day, another pair of pigeons came about. One was mostly white with a black spot, and the other one was darker gray. And I was allowed to name them this time. So I named the white one Bungus and the gray one Schmungus. These guys were timid and usually let Gerald have his way, but they never abandoned the balcony. Every morning, as I had my tea, I'd watch these four idiots try to coexist in their little world. The two pairs would rest on either side of the balcony and take their turns with the food. They'd fight sometimes, and they'd hide under the armchair or the winter tires as the two resident ravens flew past, or very rarely when it rained or snowed. Some days go by and one final pigeon joined this group. This one we called Gimpy, and he had an identification band on one of his legs. So he was someone's pigeon, or at least a research pigeon. Unfortunately, and this is very sad, his leg had outgrown the band, and the band was now cutting off the blood supply to the rest of his leg, so he didn't have full use of that leg, and he would limp on the ground. But other than that, Gimpy seemed very healthy. At first, he would come by the balcony earlier than the regulars and have some food and quickly fly off. We tried to catch him a couple of times to cut off the leg band, but pigeons are surprisingly hard to catch. Over time, Gimpy would get braver and he started to eat with the others. And to my surprise, Gerald, Isabel, Schmungus, and Bungus did not bother Gimpy one bit. They just let him do his thing. Now, the reason why I'm telling you all this is, for the first time in a long time, I was observing nature without trying to learn, without trying to understand what these birds were doing, and most importantly, without trying to relate this experience to my previous studies or my future academic or professional goals. I was just observing. And in those moments, I didn't care that I was not in academia anymore and that I didn't have a cool biology job. I was still very much a part of that world. I still loved biology. I couldn't think of any other field that I'd rather be in for a career. I had gotten off the train and gotten on a bicycle. Sure, it's slower, but at least I'll have time to appreciate the journey and maybe take a few detours. So, here I am, sharing what little biology I can understand with you. And I am so humbled that you guys are listening to me. I'm hoping that maybe someday you'd be inspired by nature to learn something, to make something, to do something, and that thing can be absolutely tiny. It doesn't have to be a big statement piece. What inspired me at the balcony that day and what inspires me now is a happy little memory. So go, make your own. Have a happy Sunday, guys.